Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-888-88-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, and Barry the Boater, rounding out the crew as we attempt to navigate the latest boating news and information and come up with the best alibi we can so we're not arrested by the authorities. Okay, so I need to explain a story this week because I've been called out. And, we World of Boating headquarters is in Orlando, Florida. And, we do the World of Boating radio show. We have Just Plane Radio for private pilots, and we have a show called Scuba Radio that's been on the air for over
100 years.
Yeah, seems like it. Over 28 years now.
Right.
And late Sunday night, Monday morning here in Orlando, Florida, we had a very unique crime take place down on Disney property where a robber wearing a wetsuit and goggles, like scuba gear type stuff, swam up to the a restaurant at Disney Springs. It looked like it was the paddle boat or paddlefish boathouse type restaurant, and he stole like 20 grand maybe, $10 to $20,000. Yeah.
I don't know why they're not sure of the amount of cash, but
yeah, but he swam away like a scuba diver or a diver, and so I've been getting texts all week. Greg, where were you on the night of, September, blah blah, and I'm like, whoa, it wasn't me.
First of all, you have to describe the person.
Well, he's dressed in a black wetsuit, and
I mean, not just a wetsuit. It looks like almost like he took a big old inner tube from a truck tire and made a hood for it and cut out a slit for his eyes.
Yeah.
That's not something that you would see at Divers Direct every day.
Well, that's true. It looked more like free diving gear because that's a typical free diving type of
Seriously?
wetsuit. Yeah.
Really?
That inner tube type of gear. And so I don't know that he had a scuba tank, but they said he had gear. He had goggles on, like swim goggles, at least from the picture.
Yeah.
And he swam up to the boat and he spray painted the security camera so they couldn't see him. And then he went up to he knew where to go, where they were counting the money for the night, and tied up a couple people and walked away or swam back away from the boat in a lake, which is, that's a pretty nasty lake. And late at night, Disney property, 5 feet deep. I probably loaded with gators. Who knows? But everybody,
that's all artificial. I think that lake.
Yeah, but I've talked to people. I know. I'm getting my story straight. I'm getting my alibi because I got more than my share of emails. Greg, was that you? And I'm like, no, I'm a scuba diver, but not all scuba divers, rob restaurants on Disney property. But I guess word gets around probably because of this scuba show that we do called Scuba Radio. So I actually came up not only with, where I was to make sure they don't come after me, because, scuba divers are a pretty close-knit community. I was like, somebody actually even sent me something that showed that it wasn't me and wanted to do it in an entertaining way, I guess. I don't know. See what you think of this, Barry. I mean, literally, I got this sent to me as an email. Check this out.
Okay.
Midnight's calling, wetsuits are tight, plans in motion under flickering lights. Friends all laugh, point my way.
All right.
But scuba radio's got nothing to say.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not Greg.
It's not me.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm clever, but it's not a sin.
Okay.
Mashed in bubbles, I make my dash. Dove in the lake, gone in a splash. Oh, gone in a splash.
That's how it works.
If you're searching for culprits, keep searching ahead. Because I told you already it was wasn't Greg.
Yeah, it wasn't me. And I got a musical.
So that's your
accompaniment.
alibi.
Well,
'Cause
then
someone
somebody
sent you a song.
is like, what? I mean, I assume that was perpetrator.
Okay.
And maybe they're a fan of our scuba show, and just wanted to say, look, Greg, I know you're going to take some heat from this, just because as crazy of a story it was, and they're going to point fingers at you, but it wasn't you. It wasn't Greg.
Okay.
And I don't whoever it was. I don't know if that was their musical contribution to our nonsense or what. But
How tall are you?
6'1".
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. Because they said this guy was what, 5'10", 5'11"?
5'10". Yeah, how tall are you, Barry?
5'10". I'm 5'7", so I'm too short.
Okay, so I'm too tall.
Yeah,
You're too short. So we got that going
So it
for us.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't either of us.
Yeah. Do you have a
but
song
I
to
don't-
back
I
up
don't know.
your alibi or no?
No,
Oh,
but
see?
then again, I've never seen an outfit like this before. You seem to know the attire that he was wearing.
Well,
You
that
said
type of
free divers use it.
yeah, it
Yeah,
kind of
so-
comes off like a, like you said, a tire type material, but it's used for free diving wetsuits quite a bit. Like if you're a spearfisher and you need thermal insulation, the reason is because free divers want very little buoyancy, and that type of material is really good at providing some insulation. If you're like spearfishing and free diving.
Yeah. You seem to know that a lot. What else do you
well,
know about it?
I-
You knew what boat it
I'm a
was,
diver.
right?
I kind of know this stuff. I've been doing that scuba show for 28 years. I
Okay.
should know a little.
So, and you
but
know
I'm
where
not guilty. It wasn't me.
Wait, you know where the ship is located, if it's a ship at all.
Yeah.
We were having that debate before the show.
Right.
Is it really? Because I've eaten on that boat. It used to be
Yeah.
called something else, the boathouse or something
Yes.
like. Was it the
Yeah.
boathouse?
I know a lot about this story. That's why I think I got a
Right.
lot of accusations and fingers pointed my way.
Mhm.
Like, hey. you
And
know,
the height really is an estimate. They also said a very thin build, right? And you're thin.
well, I say svelte, I think is the proper
Spelt?
term.
No,
I don't
no.
Uh,
So I think this was an inside job. It had to be someone that he knew the security.
yes, and I don't know the security.
I don't know. You've been to Disney plenty of times. You know a lot of the backstory
Well, yeah,
stuff
I don't
there.
know when they're counting their
You-
money for the night and all that kind of stuff. The guy knew exactly where to go.
Right.
And he spray painted the security camera when he come up out of the water from the lake. And in my defense as well, I am very familiar with that lake, and there's no way in hell I would dive. in
Did
that
they see?
lake late at
Okay.
night.
Did
No
they
way.
see a? Did they see a vehicle kind of take off around? Around
No, they
midnight
said
or
he
something?
jumped back in the water and swam off into the lake
Yeah, but
somewhere.
swam off to where? I
Well, I
mean,
don't
to a
know.
parking lot. Was there a Honda Ridgeline
What are you
there by
asking
any
me?
chance?
Yeah.
In black. A black Honda Ridgeline.
No. Yeah,
That would've been-
if he would have been really smart, he would have jumped into one of those car boats that they rent there at Disney Springs and used that as
They
his
probably have
getaway
a GPS
vehicle.
tracker on those.
Possibly. But yeah,
Yeah.
they have those kayaks and things you can rent down there, I guess. But
How
late
far
at
out
night, swimming in that lake, I'm telling you, even though it's on Disney property, I bet there's gators in there. I wouldn't be swimming around.
Now,
in
of
that
course
thing.
there are. Remember, a little kid got eaten by one over in Bay Lake, where the that really fancy hotel is.
Oh,
Not the
yeah. Grand
not the
Floridian or something.
The Grand Floridian, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
So, but they may have cleared out all the gators since then because you can't have your guests getting chewed up by alligators.
Well,
That's not good.
Mickey and Goofy can probably keep them in line, I would assume. But it's still, late at night, swimming in a lake like that, no way I would do that. So it's not me. I'm too much of a
You
wuss when
night
it
dive.
comes in.
You say you love
I
the
night dive, but I would never do it in
don't
that
night
lake.
dive
I'll do a night dive in the ocean, but I wouldn't do it in a lake like that.
in a lake
You got,
like that.
Not just gators, you got Florida
Okay,
gators, you got
so-
snakes. God knows what else is in there. No way.
How deep is that water?
It's like 5 feet deep. It's pretty shallow. It's just deep
How,
enough
how
for
did
them
you
to.
know that?
I'm very familiar with that area and how they
Okay.
run. So
And you know where the lake is? It just an enclosed lake, or does it actually attach to other?
well, I
through
think
other
there
canals
might
and
be
stuff?
some canals and stuff, but I think it's fairly isolated. on
And you know where
Disney
those
property.
canals may go?
I really I don't know that much. I'm not willing to
Discuss that
Yeah.
any further until you speak to your attorneys.
Well, I've already done that, and they said don't say any more than you have to. All right, we'll leave that there for now. More coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I used to have a boat.
You did?
Yeah, she was pretty damn sweet, man. I love that boat.
So why'd you lose it?
Sometimes the things we love aren't long for this world, Bird. Especially when your alcoholic ex-wife gets drunk and falls overboard and drowns.
This is the world of boating. Gregor First Mate, Barry the Boater, rounding out the crew this week. Okay, it wasn't me. So there was this restaurant down on Disney property got robbed. It literally happened at the end of last weekend, late Sunday night / Monday morning. And I had a lot of friends reach out to me this week, jokingly, asking me where I was at this time, blah, 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 because they know I'm a big-time diver, and we've been doing this scuba radio show for a while, blah, blah, blah.
And you're not afraid of anything. You've dove with sharks and cages with great white sharks and done all that and dove at night. And, you know, just because you happen to be close to the same height as what they described, but that's hard to estimate sometimes. And you do have that thin build. And you seem to know where the lakes and the canals are for all of that waterways. And, you know, you do. I think you even had an inside line at Epcot's.
Okay. Do you rest your case already or what? What the heck?
No. And you seem to know exactly how much money was taken. And you know about all the security.
That's all public information. This is not Law and Order, attorney Barry. So, but it wasn't me. I have an alibi. And you know, we kid.
And didn't you just buy some new guitars yesterday, the day before?
Moving on.
Okay.
Just wanted to talk about that, get that out there. I got my story straight, and I'm sticking to it. However, it did make me think. I mean, it's interesting from a boating standpoint that the burglar went after a boat restaurant there on Disney property. You know, he swam up from the lake and boarded this boat, took the money, and jumped back in the lake and swam off. And as far as I know, they haven't caught him yet. They haven't caught the perpetrator of this crime.
Hiding in plain sight.
Possibly, but it isn't me.
In a one-story home.
Yeah. But it did make me think, like, you know, obviously, like you said, it sounds like this had to be an inside job because whoever this person was, they knew when to go and when they were going to have this kind of money laying around there in the restaurant that he could get access to. Supposedly, he didn't even have a weapon, by the way, and they tied up a couple people. What's that all about? Who knows? I don't know.
Well, because you didn't want any problems, and there had to be a point where all the other employees had already left because they already probably bust down the whole restaurant, had it all cleaned up for the next day.
Well, I think they said that there were 2 people up there counting the money.
Yeah, 2
and
people.
he knew where to go, but the
Right.
everybody else was downstairs cleaning up still.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
So he didn't even get
snuck
noticed
around
by anyone else. So he knew exactly where he was going.
At least that's what I read. I mean, who knows? Not
Okay.
that I know. Just saying.
So you're
Keep throwing
concerned
out those
about
disclaimers.
if I were to go out and surprise, and then someone would come up in a wetsuit and try to steal all the money
Yeah.
from my little boat.
Well, if you were boarded and you weren't expecting it, like say you went out to, the Columbus Isle Regatta.
Columbus Day Regatta, yeah.
And you went out there and decided, I'm just going to camp out on my little 17-foot Triumph
Right.
overnight, and you're sleeping in the middle of the night. Someone boards your boat. I
Some
mean, what do you
drunken
do?
women, some
drunken
women that
you're
are
like,
just wearing no top and board my boat. What would I do?
You'd be like, hey, baby,
This has got
what's
to be a
going
dream.
down?
Yeah.
Okay, but let's say it wasn't. Let's say it was.
Oh, okay.
Somebody like a guy that you figured that might be coming after you to take something, or boarded
Right.
your boat without your
Okay.
permission. Do you
Yeah,
have a plan,
security.
like something handy that you would grab and whack them with, or what do you do, Barry?
I got nothing that is within arm's reach to whack someone with, but what
Yeah.
I do have is my flare gun, which I do keep
okay.
a flare in, loaded in it. So
Right.
that's within easy reach.
Okay, so that's your security plan, is your flare
yeah.
gun.
The
And that's
first
probably
one
not a bad
may
idea.
just hurt him a little bit or scare him, and usually when you do that, they kind of disappear.
Right. Well, yeah.
No one wants a confrontation.
Well, you would think, but yeah, I mean, I guess I was just thinking, like, gosh, do you think about this when you're on your boat, especially if you're
I
going to
think
go
about
overnight?
it more. I think about it more if I were to have my boat at my own dock, in my backyard or something like that. And I
Yeah.
know our friend Walt, I think, has had issues in the past where people have boarded boats or in that area. He lives in Fort Lauderdale, and there's a lot of canals and a lot of expensive boats.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking
hear
it
about
more
that.
from like a boating invasion kind of thing. You're
Well-
out. Well, cruisers. You hear about cruisers having to deal with, pirates and things
Pirates,
like
yeah.
that. But just
But
even
you
if
can't
you're
carry weapons.
Well, right, but that's why I'm saying a flare gun I think is an excellent idea. Are there any other things that you might want to have handy? Like you have something,
Well-
you may not necessarily have like a baseball bat, but you have something that you have on your vessel, whether it's maybe it's a
you
hook or something
could
that
put
you
a
know
s-
where it is.
well,
You know
a
what I
hook.
mean?
Yeah, I understand. A spare gun.
Spare
If you go
gun, maybe.
diving, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be one of those big long ones, a short one.
Right.
I've seen that work in a couple of movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, take a
Take a
tip
s-
from
I mean,
Bond, James
yeah.
Bond. Right.
I mean, obviously, a spare gun is going to hurt.
Well,
So, but
I
you only
think you
get
got
one shot.
You only get
So-
one. Well, but the thing is, you just have to kind of put yourself in that mindset. Like, okay, thinking of worst case scenarios. If you're staying overnight or you're anchored,
I would never
off-
sleep. If you did that to me, I would be up all night long
Well,
on the lookout for someone.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
I
Though,
understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
You just have. I mean, sometimes you got to think about this stuff. Like, all right, God forbid, if somebody were to board my boat, try to rob me, what would I do?
What would I
And-
do? Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, I say, okay, I could go to the flare gun. I could maybe go see if I have my boat hook handy. Where is it at in the vessel? Can I grab it to use it to whack somebody with if I saw them on
You
the
know-
boat, or they were trying to sneak around and I woke
I
up
think-
and caught them? What would I use to defend myself?
So let's say I had a big enough boat where I could go to Bimini. All right.
Right.
And to
Which
stay
it
over.
is.
You can have I was just thinking about that. If you were to go to Bimini and you had a firearm, you're supposed to follow certain rules. It has to be locked up. You have to declare it when you're going in from quarantine to say, hey, there is a firearm, it is unarmed, it's locked up in this and that. But I recall you can do that. So in theory, I guess if I had a sailboat, let's say, and I would sail from country to country, did one of those worldwide journeys or something.
Right.
I think you can. I mean, I know that when they were having a lot of problems with pirates and, going around, what was the Horn of Africa?
Yeah.
Or in Somalia and all that. And they didn't have weapons on these big ships. And, people were saying, why don't they have anything? And then they said they started hiring these mercenaries to, basically protect the ship, security. Some of them use water. They have water cannons set up now, sort of like, the big fire things, fire hoses. You could sink the boat that tries to board you. My little boat would not.
But on a personal safety thing, you need to kind of think about what would you do in that scenario and what tools do you have handy. Yeah, and I know you don't want to think that way, but I was like looking at this story, like, how would you put up a fight? I am.
What would you use?
I'm a
for
black
a weapon?
belt. My body.
Oh
is
yeah,
a
that's
weapon.
good. Yeah, right.
Yeah. What
the
do you
only
mean?
things are weapons when you eat beans.
Whoa, hey, that would be an interesting attack. All right, more coming up.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Guys, we have a situation. I broke the bathroom.
How the heck did you manage to do that?
We ran out of TP, so I had to use my shirt.
Ew.
Well, long story short, turns out that pipes on the boat are not BVT compatible.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry the boater, rounding out the crew. Okay, so if you're out on your boat and someone boards your vessel without your permission, say you're anchored out on, you're out on the hook and you're just camping out on the vessel, maybe small boat, whatever, and someone has boarded your boat without your permission, and they're wanting to steal something or do harm to you. Do you got a plan? Have you thought about that? First off, if someone's trying to rob you, I mean, obviously you got to do what you want to do, but it's probably not worth risking your life over. And if they, come at you and
if they,
especially God forbid if they have a weapon on them or something, just say, okay, whatever, take whatever you got to take. And that's that story with the people that were robbed on Disney property, Barry. Supposedly the guy did not have a weapon.
But they didn't know that. And
I don't know if they did or not, but but he tied him up somehow. He could have intimidated him, and he's wearing a black face mask and a black wetsuit. He probably looked pretty intimidating, I assume. But
most of the employees are what, 20 years old, a college student or something like that. I'm not fighting for this money. Are you kidding me?
Right.
No. Here, take what you want. Leave me a tip.
Yeah. And I bet you that's Disney policy anyway, as it is with a lot of businesses and convenience stores.
It's not worth a life.
They're not supposed to put up a fight and all that kind of stuff. Or even though, there's a part of any person I think would love to be able to stand up to a burglar like that. And
well, if you had a pencil, you could.
A pencil?
Yeah.
All right. So that's all you need. If a guy shows up late at night, you're going to stab him in the eye with a pencil,
Hey,
or what are you going to do?
John Wick did it.
Okay. All right. Well,
He did kill 3 people with a pencil.
all right. It's I guess
It's a sharp device. It'll work. But if you have a
Barry's.
pistol, okay. So you want to know the answer according to the world, according to your favorite AI?
What do you mean? The answer to like what
If-
you're
can
able
you-
to do,
okay,
or
yes.
what? Oh,
Okay,
legally. Okay.
Well, you were talking about shooting someone during the break. I said, can you shoot someone? Let's find out.
All right. Yeah. What are the laws of the sea? Like if you're in international waters or something.
They're a bit
Vague?
murky.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It says, no, you generally cannot shoot someone who boards your boat in international waters, as you can only use lethal force against a pirate in self-defense under U.S. law, but not against an individual boarding your vessel in what may not be an act of piracy.
Okay.
Furthermore,
So
if the
what differentiates them between someone boarding your boat and being a pirate? The hat?
I guess the hat and the patch
how
on
they
the eye
speak?
and a parrot,
Uh-huh.
you know? I don't
Arr,
know.
permission to come aboard, Captain.
As I said, yeah. Furthermore, if the boarding is occurring in the territorial waters of another state or in another port, you are subject to that state's jurisdiction and laws, not your
Right.
flag state. So
Yeah.
the flag state is what your ship or boat is actually sails under, like, registered in the U.S. or registered in some, how the big ships are always registered in Panama or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the ship that they're registered under. But when they go to Bimini or the Bahamas, they have to do things under Bahamian law.
Right. Well, if you're in those waters controlled by a particular country, or state waters, but once you get out of state waters and you're in federal waters or
International waters.
yeah, and you get into international
So-
waters, I wonder. I mean,
Here we go. So, piracy versus boarding. International law defines piracy as acts on the high seas for private ends and not in territorial waters. So, if you were in the territorial waters of the U.S., it would not be piracy. You would have to be in international water.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And
But
it says
if
if the
the-
boarding if the boarding is happening in a port or territorial waters, it is not piracy under international law. It would be whatever that country's law is about boarding.
Well, maybe, but if they're threatening you, if somebody gets on your boat and pulls out a knife or gun or something, I would imagine you do have right to self-defense, wouldn't you? Just like stand your
at least-
ground laws in Florida.
Well, stand
in
your
your
yeah,
house.
but that's in Florida. But if
Yeah.
you're out, I think Florida waters only go out 3 miles, and in United States territorials go out 12 miles,
something
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're within the 3 mile part,
Mhm.
then you would go by whatever the law is in Florida. But if you go beyond 3 miles, but not, but you're not in international waters yet, then it would probably be whatever U.S. law is. And U.S. law, I don't think has something called stand your ground yet.
Yeah, but if it was, I think it all come down to the if it's self-defense. If you're being threatened with something, or and you were to stab somebody with a pencil.
Well, hey, have you ever hit yourself with a pencil? That hurts.
No, I haven't really tried.
You
to
never
do that.
stabbed your hand with a pencil by mistake? Do you know what a
not by-
pencil is? Have you
Yeah.
seen one lately?
I've never stabbed myself with a pencil
Okay.
by mistake.
So,
I would know this. I think. Why
Okay,
you've
so-
done this, or have you done it intentionally? Barry?
not intentionally. Intentionally.
Why did you stab
yeah.
yourself with a pencil?
Because my hand slipped.
Oh,
And that
you
lead
made a
goes
mistake.
into that sharp little point hurts.
Ah,
So okay,
right.
for self-defense in the U.S., you were asking under Section 912 of the Coast Guard Authorization Act of 2010,
Mhm.
a person may use force to defend a U.S. flagged vessel from piracy, which includes deadly force if necessary. However, the person boarding your boat may not be a pirate. So the question is he a pirate, or is he just some drunk that, hey, that looks like my boat. Let me come on over and join you.
Well, I think it would go back to whether or not you were being threatened or not.
Yeah.
It could be a drunk guy gets up on your boat and then he, threatens to, hit you with something, or he has
Or
a
again,
gun
a
or a
couple of,
knife or whatever. Then
Yeah.
I think all bets are off. Sorry.
All bets
Charlie.
are off. Yeah. It's your life, his life. I'll take my chances in court. I'd rather be alive to fight in court than 6 feet under. And
well, you either
or
fight
little
back or
bird.
you give them whatever the heck they want. It's kind of
It doesn't
the
always
life
end like
decision.
that, though.
What do you
Think
mean?
about it. Because there are plenty of people that said, "Here, take whatever you want."
I
and you
know
still
that's
get
what I'm
shot
saying.
for-
But
Yeah.
that's your choice you have to make in that moment of time. Are you going to put up
So-
a fight against it, or are you just going to give them what they want? Which I think most law enforcement are going to tell you, just give them whatever they want.
Fight back. Yeah.
It isn't worth it. What could happen and all the aggravation of, God forbid, if you did something to a guy, and then you have the guilty element of it too. But I don't know. That's a hard one.
Just start carrying a pencil with you
Okay.
at all times.
I never would have thought a pencil being
weapon.
a weapon
A
of
hammer,
choice for
A
defense.
screwdriver. You
If-
jam it in someone's ear.
Okay. All right.
It's gonna go
And
right through their head.
And this was all because of watching the John Wick movies for you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You
We'll
got
see.
to think quick.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the flare gun thing was a pretty good idea that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But this other stuff, I mean, once again, I think it just goes to, thinking about this stuff in advance. I mean, you don't want to, but when you see stories about boats getting robbed or people dealing with pirates and things, you need to kind of think of a scenario like, hey, if God forbid something like this happened, what would I do? And
Especially if you're
this,
out in the
that, and
high
the other
seas.
thing.
Yeah.
And then that way, at least if you, God forbid, are presented with a scenario where you actually found yourself in this, you would have a decision or a plan to put in place. It's just peace of mind kind of stuff, I guess. Slightly disturbing as well. But go watch all the John Wick movies. You'll be up to speed like Barry. More coming up.
That's right.
Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network. You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
The word ship is hidden inside the word leadership as its derivation. So, if this office is in fact a ship, as its leader, I am the captain. But we're all in the same boat.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Captain, please, can you see my fire? Message in a bottle, starboard side.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry the Boater, rounding out the crew. Okay, so, if you have, a pencil on your boat, it's a potential weapon, God forbid, when it comes to securing your vessel from pirates or just people that board your vessel and you're not expecting it and they may want to do you harm. I mean, Barry mentioned the flare gun thing, which, by the way, what if you did use that as a way to scare someone off? Can you do that, or will you get in trouble, or do we know, Barry? Because you're not
I have
supposed
no
to set them
idea.
off anyway. But I guess in
I wouldn't
life,
I wouldn't be beating them up. I would be shooting them sideways. Right?
Well, what difference would that make?
Well, it's not going up, so it's not like a helicopter or another boat's going to see it.
Yeah. Well, in this case, you probably would want someone to see it. They're like, "Hey, I'm under attack. I got this crazy pirate."
Well, you can always, buy yourself an RPG off some website and stow that away, and you can take their boat out.
Okay, that won't cause any problems either, I guess. But I don't know.
No.
You just have to be creative and just think
Yeah.
about what would you do if someone approached you or when you didn't expect. You need some defense. And actually, you found some news as far as like if you're going from state to state, like you were boating in a lake, different rules you got to consider, or what?
I was looking at this one website. They talk about, having a firearm on your boat.
Yeah.
And they talked about, for example, if you were to go to another state in the United States, each state has their own laws as far as concealed weapon, what you can carry, what you cannot. So if you were to go up the intracoastal to Georgia, to the Carolinas, to Virginia and all that on your boat, you may want to call the I'm sure they have some kind of, it's not the state attorney's office. I don't know who you would call, but maybe someone that regulates firearms in those states and say, I'm going to be on my sailboat. I like to carry a firearm for my personal protection.
Right.
What are your rules?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
you got to
so-
know what the rules are for sure.
Absolutely. And
oh,
then
Or something else you might consider is just bluffing. You have a flag on your boat that kind of shows that you're a proud carrying NRA member or something. I don't know. Just kind of put that vibe out there.
well, that could also be called telegraphing that you may already have a weapon. You don't want
The name
someone
of
to
my
know you
boat
have
is
a
I'm
weapon.
packing. How about that?
You don't want to telegraph that.
Well, maybe you do. That'll keep people from coming on your
That'll-
boat without.
No, they'll just come on
permission.
your boat with an itchy finger.
Oh, okay. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
If they think that you look safe, they're going to tend to be a little bit less jumpy. If they think you're going to fight back,
They're not.
Well.
They're going to move on to the next boat.
yeah, if they see you just carrying a pencil around, they're going to say, this guy is easy until you take him out.
Wait, has he seen the John Wick movies? Oh,
Not
crap.
necessarily.
He's packing with a pencil.
That's right.
Yeah.
Firearms in international waters, the laws of the boat's flag of origin govern. Therefore, Florida law will regulate a ship that is registered in Florida. The Coast Guard may board an individual's vessel at any time, perform random searches. If this happens, a person should immediately inform officers that they are in possession of a firearm. The standard Coast Guard procedure is to document the serial number of any firearms the person has on board. However, if you're going to a foreign port, you should contact the country's consulate in advance and find out what the laws say regarding possession of firearms on your boat or vessel. Many countries have very strict firearms laws. Remember, we talked about people that have traveled to these other countries in the Caribbean, and they didn't have a firearm. They just had one round left in their luggage
Yeah,
that
had
they forgot
bullets.
to clear out.
Turks and Caicos.
And
yeah.
yeah, and they were arrested, locked up. They could be spending years in prison,
Yeah.
not even having the firearm. So, you got to think a little bit about,
Well-
you're not in the U.S.
Well, I think that's why you got to be more creative. You got to come up with something, whether it's a pencil, flare gun, something else that you have on the boat all the time that you could use to defend
A
yourself.
few grenades, you could lob them
No,
over
I
to
don't
the
think
boat
that-
that's coming at you.
You're not helping, Barry. You're not helping.
No?
No, I'm saying,
Okay.
the more common things that we use on our vessel that you could,
Think about the
use
things
as
that
a
you that you
weapon
hurt
in-
yourself with.
Well, right.
Again,
exactly.
you have a hammer on the vessel. How many times have you hit your thumb or something with a hammer?
Right.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That's a weapon.
Mhm.
A screwdriver. How many times have you poked yourself?
Yeah.
I had a screwdriver go into the palm of my hand one time. That hurt.
Okay, wait. You stabbed yourself with pencils and a screwdriver?
I slip a lot.
You
so
have issues, Barry.
you never
I
seen
mean-
the scars on my hands? They've been
I
beat
have-
up pretty bad.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds
you
like
know,
a personal problem.
You
but-
have to think, what can you use? You're not going to use a rubber inflatable thing, but if you're a scuba diver, you may have a knife with you. You may have a spare
Correct.
gun with you.
Yeah.
You already know you have a flare gun.
And I think the key to that is just like you need to know where this stuff is. Like if you have one place on your boat where you keep this stuff all the time, where if you
Sure.
were in a panic situation and you needed to get to something to help defend yourself or fend somebody off that was coming after you or your boat, you would know immediately where to go. You have a plan. You have a plan in
Right.
place for security. I think
Yeah.
that's the message or the moral of this whole thing is from where I'm coming from. I was like, just think about it. You got to think about it, the plan, so you're not totally caught off guard because you're going to be freaked out if someone ever were to do that to you. And I think the trick to it, just
Sorry
like
about that.
just like when you're working to, like in scuba diving, one of the things we're taught is not panic because when you panic,
Mhm.
you make bad decisions. It could create a problem for you on many levels when you're scuba diving. It's the same thing. But if you have a plan in place, you've already thought through, scenarios where if someone was threatening you, what would you do? You would automatically go to that plan, and you would have, a trigger. It would trigger, this response that you've thought about before. And it's just a matter of thinking about how you would respond. So you're not surprised and freaked out and froze or, don't have any plan to
if you're going to be if you're going to be on a boat, let's say you're going to travel, like we know a couple of people that are traveling the Great Loop all the way around for the next year and a half.
Right.
You would want to discuss that with whomever you're traveling with. You sit down and you say, what would we do if we thought someone was coming aboard? How do we notify each other? Where should we go? To the bow of the boat, to the aft end of the boat?
Right.
Here's
where the pencils are.
Here's where the pencils are. Here's the self-destruct button. Put on your black latex skin suit with your goggles and then jump over the side, right? Like the ones you have, Greg.
Oh, I thought you were going to getting into some kind of kinky thing that was going on there for a second.
No, that suit that you have that's hidden in the back there.
Wrong.
The one that looked interestingly like the guy that robbed that paddle boat.
It looks more like a sex suit. One of those things.
That information too.
Yeah. And I can see it in your eyes right now. You got the mental picture like
of you in that suit. Yeah. I can see it.
Oh, God, don't say that out loud, Barry. Way to make it awkward, dude. What's up with you?
Look on your boat. See what you can use as a weapon.
Yeah.
Defend someone off.
Yeah, don't become a statistic.
An air horn. If you have one of those air horns in a can, that hurts.
Right.
And it'll get someone's attention.
Late at night, Barry's on his boat. If someone boards the boat, first thing he does, just drops his drawers. Surprise! If that doesn't make him jump off in fear and terror. Right.
I'll get my pencil.
That's another way to do it. And on that disturbing note, we're going to wrap it up, whether it's sail or motor.
Life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.